Anyways, that's fine. You at least did better than Udit. You got one right. So
Udit got one right. He's a gamer. He says like he plays games.
no, Udit actually got. So he got one right, but he got one right after the timer was up. So it doesn't count. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Berryvengers show. I'm your host, Saurabh John, and I work as a game designer at Berry Labs. This is episode 2 of our 10 episode podcast series. If you missed out on episode 1, we talked about the life of the game designer at Berry Labs with our guest Udit Singh. So that was a really good episode. And on today's episode, we have two guests. One of them worked on PUBG Mobile and works currently as a product manager at Berry Labs. On the game Traitor, he's Rohit Anishetty. So, Rohit.
So thanks, Saurabh. Firstly, very excited to be part of this podcast. Hey everyone. As Saurabh mentioned, I'm Rohit, part of the product team at Berry Labs. I became a Berryvenger around a year back and been with the gaming industry for say close to 5 years now. I had the privilege of working on a very diverse set of games of different genres. Some of the games I worked on like Portrek and Saurabh mentioned I worked on games like PUBG Mobile also. And I'm currently working on two very exciting games, right? The first one is Traitor. So it's already available on Play Store. It's a game you can play with your friends, and there's three very thrilling modes that are available. One has zombies in it, and second one has a doll which takes over the lab, and the best way to escape is to be the last standing person out there. And finally, we have a classic lab mystery mode where team up with agents and figure out who is the traitor. Next in line, we have a game called Merge Town. This is again very soon coming to the store. Right, so there'll be a very different take on what are current merge games that are there in the market, and we are going to add really exciting mechanics to make this game much more fun. Yeah, so that's it from my side.
Awesome. Yeah, we got to hear a lot about Trader from Udit as well. So yeah, that's built up a lot of excitement. And yeah, our second guest also works as a game designer at Berry Labs, and he works on our merge game called Beyond Merge, which FYI is undergoing a lot of major changes. So stay tuned for that in the future. And that's it's Tabrez Pirani. So.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Thank you, Saurabh, for making part of this. I'm working as a game designer at Berry Labs, and it's been almost 5 years I've been working in the game industry. I've mostly worked on casual games like across my profession, and very thrilled to work on merge genre. It was something which is developing a lot in gaming. So it has been great journey till now.
Yeah. So like we got to play a very old build of the game, and there were a lot of changes that needed to be done. So yeah, that's what's being worked on right now. Anyway, so our topic for today was.
Before we start the topic, I want to ask you a question. So you promised to Tabrez and me that we'll be part of the first podcast.
Okay.
What happened?
Okay. So what happened was Tabrez happened. So this was actually supposed to be the first episode, and this turns out like going to be the second episode because some audio and video issues. Because this is our first time doing this as well, so this was inevitable. So yeah, sorry about that, but you guys are still second place. So second place is okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So yeah, our topic for today is how mobile gaming has changed after lockdown, and I thought we'll just start off with an overview of how gaming has affected us during lockdown and like how it's helped us like cope with life, if it did for you guys. Like for me, when I was when lockdown started, I was still in Canada at the time, and I was just living in I was staying in the basement of a house, and I basically had just a small window of light that was my only source of light. I would barely go out, but it was games that made me wake up every day and continue playing, and like kept me going throughout the day. And like I'd wake up and playing games before I sleep and playing games, and without games I don't know what I would have done. So yeah, like was it anything simpler for you guys during that time?
Firstly, I thought you were telling him some scary story. Only light is coming into the room in the basement.
I mean, if you were living there, it seemed like some horror show.
Like the home was not less than scary horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Rohit, you can start.
Yeah, anyway, so that is the thing, right? So lockdown was something that happened all of a sudden, and then no one expected it, right? Like luckily for me, I was in my hometown, so I was with my family, so that helped me lightly to cope over there. But I really can't imagine what would have happened without games, right? So that's a scary thing even think of. It's more scary than whatever story you had told, right? Uh,
So
like I
true.
had like two very interesting observations, right? The first thing is that during this lockdown, I met a lot of my childhood friends whom I haven't really met them in the last say 10 years or so, right? I had a lot of interesting conversations with them because all of them has nothing to do, so we started playing games together, right? And second one is like there are some of my roommates, right, who used to play only the PC games and console games, right? They used to tell we are gamers, you are not a gamer. That's what they used to make fun of when I play mobile games. So these guys came to me and started like, Rohit, why can't we play this Ludo game together? Why not this game together? That felt really awesome. These guys begging me other way around,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly what you said, Rohit. It was like, I mean, even I had friends that I haven't played for with years, just coming back and starting to play games, or maybe they quit a game for a very long time, but then it was lockdown that kind of started back up again. And yeah, that was a really fun time, actually. Like, like even in that whole depression mode, you still have to find the little bit of happiness that you can find, and games is what gave it to us. Yeah. So,
True.
Tabriz, did you have any experience like that?
Yeah, so like I had similar experience to you. Like I was not staying in a basement, but still I was staying alone.
Yeah.
So I was alone in Bangalore, and the lockdown happened. We could not travel. All the travel restrictions were there. So games was the only thing which were keeping me happy. Like even a small rewarding set, a game actually changes the whole day mood and everything. So
Right.
that was very much happening on daily basis. And apart from
Right.
that, like Rohit met with his old school friends. I got connected with old school friends through the Ludo game and Parchisi games.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the whole nostalgia thing came up back. Like we used to play Ludo physically, like on board when we were small. We were playing
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
That was very
Yeah.
good.
So you met up with those friends all over again, playing virtually now. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel
Yeah.
just add one more point here, right? I
Yeah.
feel it's not about a personal experience, right? But I think gaming really helped me a lot professionally also. Right, so I joined Game Relax like around a year back or so. It was during lockdown, right? I still haven't met with any of the team members, but now at this point, I can really tell that I know a lot of my team members a lot more better because we played a lot of games together, right? So a lot of communication becomes a lot more easier. We're doing things a lot more faster because we have this rapport with the people.
Right. Exactly.
So a lot of people change their jobs due to lockdown, and I have one suggestion for them, right? Like play games together, know your team better. That is what I keep on telling all my friends to do.
Yeah. Like even every Friday we have a game session in our company where like around 20 of us or so get together. I mean, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but yeah, it's really fun. Like we don't have to be a gaming company to do that. Any company can do that, and it just
exactly.
that togetherness. Yeah. Okay. All right. So move on to how, like, I was just thinking about this during lockdown, where there have been so many new users that have come about during lockdown, like new players, and like what does a game do for a person during a time like lockdown? How do so many new users come up? And like for example, for me, games are just a habit in general. Like it's like I mentioned before, I wake up, it's games. Well, during the day I'm playing games. Before sleeping I have to play a game. So it's like in me to play games. I understand everything about it, but how could this affect players and people in general, like for the future, and what happened during lockdown? So what do you guys think about that? We can start with Tabriz this time.
So like games and like what I have seen, games are not just about playing and it's not just about fun, but it also actually affects our lifestyle and the way we live. There are many games who teach us about patience and consistency and those things, and there are many games which bring social element. Like before we were playing Animal Crossing, the whole thing about making that game from the developer was that he was feeling alone and then he wanted game where he can socialize with people and look into his day-to-day life factor. So those elements which actually affect the way we live, and it helps us in grow in a way, and it also keeps us distracted from all the other problems which are already going on. And already with the COVID thing, the problems has just add up, like getting day-to-day living wise, and the time of waking up and time of seeing the work hectic and everything. So all these games has always helped in getting relaxed and taking breaks in between of work and
Right. Yeah. Actually, it's a nice thing that you brought up Animal Crossing, because that was a game that released during lockdown, like what we were discussing during our talk, where that released during the start of lockdown, and the amount of users that they got increased like crazy during that time, and it worked exactly for the design of the game. It was meant for a situation like that, actually. So yeah, that's interesting. Like, Rohit, do you have anything on that?
So totally, mostly agree with whatever Tadej has told here, right? So again, just fundamentally, if you think what's happening, right? Like every human being has some needs, right? So when lockdown happened, most of these needs are not being met. So now, in order to meet needs, players associated with the gaming a lot. That's what we have seen. The social gaming has increased like crazy during this lockdown time, right?
Yeah.
So again, the motivations more or less remain the same, but as some of your needs are not being unmet over there, you're trying to use the games over here. Right. So I'm reading some sort of articles here and there regarding gaming. So I have seen otherwise something, right? For example, in a country like India, the major motivation for playing games during lockdown because you want to connect with family and friends. Right. So that is the major motivator for that. I've seen a huge shift. That might not be the same case in other countries, but culturally, there is some motivation that shifted a lot during the lockdown. Right. So that was it. Like, so yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's so true. And it's a good thing that you brought up social gaming, because that was my next point, where, I mean, the impact of social gaming during lockdown it's been massive, because like I mentioned before, also, like, I had so many friends and friends of friends all coming together. Like, we would play so many social games. Like, we played so much of Fall Guys. Like, that only lasted like a month or something, but yeah. And Jackbox Party, if you've heard about that, like Jackbox Party consists, like, you have different packs that it's available on Steam, and this is like Jackbox Party 1, 2, 3, 4, and each one of these has around 6-7 games in it, which each game is meant for around maybe 4 to 8 players or something to play with. And that was a bunch of fun, and, like, of course, a lot of Among Us also. And yeah, I mean, it all did die down a little eventually when things started coming back to normal, but it really did show us, like, the power of social gaming in general. And so I was just wondering, what was it for you guys in this regard?
Yeah, so same, like the social gaming, right? Like you talked about most of the games over here. Like so we had, like, so in lockdown there are 3 groups for me. One is with my sort of cousins, nephews, this set of people, and second one is basically friends. One is college friends, one is school friends, one is mixture of all the people who are available to play.
Okay.
So right, so that's what, like, anytime, like, it's random, right? Some people used to, but some people still studying. Like some of my cousins, right? They're still in the engineering and stuff, right? People keep on pinging the group. Let's play this game. Let's play that game. Right. So actually, fun. Like, what really happened is that the social gaming, right? You mentioned really, right? So a lot of games which might not be bigger hits because of that one became much bigger, right? And other than this, a lot of other games which we used to play during childhood, these games gained a lot of prominence also because of nostalgia factor. You want to experience with your family and friends like that. Right. So that's true. Like social gaming, again, as you mentioned, there might be some loss over here, but we have to see how this will impact. Like now, recently there is this meta thing happening, right? But fundamentally, meta is what? All the metaverse and all those things. This is basically you are experiencing some other universe. So I think this social gaming sort of accelerate the process for them also to look at the things that we got.
Right. Well, when you were mentioning about the different friends and stuff that were playing in different types of groups, I was just thinking to myself, I would definitely have been in the final group that you mentioned, where people are just available at any time. I don't know if that's a sad thing or a nice thing, but yeah, I would have just been available at all times just to play any game. So yeah. Tabriz,
So like same thing almost. Like it was not just about playing with family and friends, but I have also met many people I haven't even known. Like there was a game I was playing, and he just messaged randomly that I have developed this game, and then we have got in contact and we have discussed about games. There were many unknown people also who got into connection, and like we said, the whole meta thing. So even with gaming, the whole cross-platform social gaming has been going on. Like if you see Among Us, but Fall Guys, if you see it is there on Xbox and PC also. And people doing it through socially for those games as well. Going for those, and I think even Traitor has those aspects where we want people to come like socially and play and to get together, kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's also true. I also wanted to touch a bit about the revenue increase in games post-lockdown, because I mean, probably just people had a little bit more extra cash to spend because they were staying at home and maybe nowhere else to spend it. But the revenue spent in games in general just skyrocketed. And I mean, you could take a look at our own company, for example. The start of lockdown was when our revenue figures just hit the highest of highs. So, I mean, a lot of companies would have thought that it would have taken several years for the company to reach those sort of figures. But I mean, definitely, it's affected many different companies all around the world. And there have been so many mobile games, so many like PC games, console games, everything in general that has just been able to generate so much of revenue due to lockdown that has helped them sustain themselves for a long period of time. Basically, like even if they don't make that much of a profit for the next maybe year or two, they're still sustained enough because of the initial pump of money that they got at the start of the lockdown. Like, what do you think some key reasons for this is?
So for revenues, it's more about the type of game they have started developing when the lockdown came into the picture. Like before, the games were not in depth, they were not in depth in terms of designing and everything. But when they see that people are engaging, their retention and everything is going high, they started adding more revenue models like which are not that high rated and everything. So I came from a background where we were working on a real money based game. It did got affected with the pandemic thing because the live events was not going on and everything. The company got affected with pandemic. But apart from those, the good thing about that company was they were also making games which were like Rummy and other things. So those things were generating more money.
Right. Okay. Yeah, like you touched upon those like basically a few features and games that started releasing a lot more. Like what I experienced was almost every game now has like a battle pass sort of thing.
Right.
And yeah, that definitely during lockdown would have been a huge revenue booster for companies, because a battle pass, basically, for people that don't understand, is basically a way to make a person come back to the game a lot and play the game a lot more. And basically, as you keep playing, you just get rewarded a lot more. So you pay an initial fee, and then you just play a lot. You get a lot of rewards. So something like that. Even we've implemented into our games, and it's helping in revenue a lot. It's helping all companies a lot. So yeah, I'm seeing it in almost every game now. So yeah, even games that you wouldn't expect. So yeah, Rohit, did you have anything to say on this?
Yes. So the first question, right? Again, I'll touch base upon Batman a little bit later. But fundamentally, the thing is that so why the gaming awareness has increased, right? It's pretty simple, I would say. Like the more the time you spend with the game, the more money the game is going to make. Right, during lockdown, people are playing the game for longer durations, longer session times, everything more happen. Right. So generally, games make revenue because of two different aspects. The first one is like something like extra lives, repeat, most stuff like that one, where most of these match-3 games make the revenue, right? And second thing is where people are getting something like rare items, currency and stuff like that. So from what my observation is that now as people are trying to play the game for longer durations, both of these things will see an increase in player spending. Right, so because you have enough time with you, you want to continue the experience of the game which you are playing. You don't want to leave the game in between. Previously, you are playing the game, say while you commute into your office. That didn't happen. So that's what happened. The second thing is that as you are spending much more time with the game, right, you are sort of emotionally become attached to the game. right? So a lot of this battle pass we have seen. I can talk about PUBG mobile game over there. A lot of these things are mostly cosmetics, right? It's just nothing is changing. There's just a cosmetic that is different.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what. So people want to get these meaningful experiences. That's why the games are able to make more money. So,
yeah, that's actually a very simple thing I didn't even think about. You're right. Yeah, that because people are spending so much time on the game, and that so many of these games have that whole energy system where you can't play after a certain point, right? Yeah. So yeah, that makes sense. So, sorry, you wanted to say something else?
No. So just like in addition to the in-app purchase, right? A lot of games make money via ads, right? So the ads is fundamentally very directly proportional to the amount of time player is spending in the game. Right. Around maybe majority of the games make majority of the revenue. I'm not talking about top games, top charts games, but other games, right? Around 70-80% of the revenues used to come only via advertisements. Right. So that is one additional thing that really happened.
Okay. Nice. All right. So let's talk about some of our favorite games during lockdown. So you can start with the Breeze.
So like there are many. I would say like I would first start with the PC, like the console game which I started playing. It was Last of Us again. It was very much hyped and everything, and the game was also very much good. It was a sequel of Part 1.
Oh, it is Last of Us 2. Okay. Yeah.
So it was very good game. It has took so much time of me in getting relaxed and getting out of the hectic work element, because after every day after working hours I started playing Last of Us 2 for long, like late 2 in the morning and everything.
Nice.
So that was the game I was playing most. And apart from that, the mobile games which were going, which had always been there around. So for mobile games, I have always been fan of Supercell games. So I played many Clash Royale and Clash
Brawl Stars.
Yeah, and Brawl Stars.
I've seen your trophies on Brawl Stars. Yes. Yeah. Crazy. Okay.
That is the thing with those games, right? They still connect with you all social elements and engage for a longer period of time, so you'd be distracted.
Right. Rohit, what about you?
Yeah, like I don't know if I tell the game names, you guys might make fun of, because I'm not a gamer like you.
Okay.
Right. Like lot of my friends used to play these games like Dota 2 and those things during college time. I used to make fun of them, and then finally I became a gaming product manager. Right.
But you've never tried it?
No, I tried once, twice, but I felt like why play here if I can go and play outside is what my point of time. Yeah, like I used to play this CS:GO and these things with my friends, and I'm the first one who is going to get killed anyway. That happens, and then I'll go to their room and try to disturb. That's what I used to do.
Anti-gamer is making games. So
No, it's not like an anti-gamer. It's like I would say I'm more like very casual gamer. Right? Especially in the games, I have very little time. So, like again, there are some games which I like. For example, Clash Royale is one of my favorite games. Like I don't like Clash of Clans. I don't like much, but Clash Royale I like that game. Very short session times, but very enticing for me. Right. So part of the first thing is that I said I was working for PUBG Mobile, so that is one game I really like playing. Right. Like a lot of my cousins used to play with them. And secondly, like, you'll make a lot of friends. I was mentioning this point, right? With lockdown, that is something that happened. Like, used to make a lot of friends online also. Hey, I got this. Just got this idea. You guys seen these reviews for our Ludo Star and Purchase Star games?
No.
A lot of people are saying they met each other in Ludo Star and getting married.
Oh yes,
right.
I've seen that. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So sorry, you said that you like short session times and you like PUBG Mobile. Isn't that like an opposite?
Exactly. I'll tell you why I like PUBG Mobile also, right?
Okay.
So, if you like to target PUBG Mobile game, I used to like there are two modes. Like there is one shorter mode which is like 10 minutes. This is one longer, 25 minutes.
Okay.
That 20 minutes duration mode, the main battle royale mode, the first 10 minutes or so is just about resource gathering. You're trying to get weapons and these things, right?
Yes.
That part of it is pretty fun to me play with my friends. Right? Let's say we three are playing the game. It's pretty fun to play with you guys, right? Like, for example, I will get some weapon. You ask me,
cost me on that weapon. A lot of these things happen over there.
Hmm.
That's what I felt like as I used to start for that experience, and then gradually, I like the playing the I like the experience also better over there. Right? Without friends, I would have not played that game at all. Right? Because it's this first experience playing with my friends made me to play the game for longer duration. That's what I feel.
Yeah, okay. So, that makes sense.
Yeah, so again, common games like the Ludo games, right? Again, that is one game which I played a lot with my friends and stuff. And obviously, Among Us is something which I played with my friends of friends of friends.
Yeah.
Right? That's how that game is played.
Same.
Sort of we touched upon this concept, right? Like watching videos of influence on YouTube and stuff like that. Right? So I really feel this is one major shift that is happening in the gaming industry. Like esports is one, but other normal streaming also, right? That is happening a lot more, right? People are now looking up to these influencers to try out the games and make sure they're sticking with the games. How do you guys feel about that? Like,
it's a huge thing because like Flappy Bird became famous only because PewDiePie played it.
Right.
And once he played it is when everyone started downloading it. And then, I mean, it's such a simple game, but you wouldn't think that a game like that would make. I think they made like 60k, 70k a day or something. And so I mean, influencers have a huge say on what games do well, what games don't. Because even Among Us, I would watch this group of players, and group of Twitch streamers and YouTubers just play together, and that's what got me more hyped up to want to play more. And it's definitely a real thing.
It's like not just streaming one person, it's a group of people who are do streaming together.
Yes. Yeah, that's more fun when you have a lot more people coming together. But and especially like even for me, like for example, I would learn a few things from the YouTubers or streamers that if they were much better at me, it's fun to look at them do something and then go, I want to play the game and try out what they did. So that's also something that keeps happening to me. Sorry, Tapesh?
I was just saying, like, even esports, though the COVID affected, the esports was still there. They keep making online competitions.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It isn't one of those things where, like, I mean, you can't do sports and stuff because that's a real life thing. But esports lived on. So, that was interesting. Anyways, we're nearing the end of our podcast. So, as customary, we have to end with a fun game. So just like last week, we're going to be ending with a trivia, and so because there's two of you this time, I thought we can increase the time to 1 minute, and also I'll ask you 5 questions. If you know the answer, just tell me the answer. If you don't know the answer, then just say pass, and then we'll move on to the next one. All right? And so the topic for today is just general video game trivia. There's no specific thing. All right?
Okay.
So we can have the post-production.
Can I predict the score right now for both Average and me?
No, sorry. Can you what?
Can I predict the score for Average and myself in this game? My score will be more or less around 0 mark.
No. So sorry. Okay. Both of you have to work together. I only have 5 questions.
Oh, okay. It's like teaming up together. Then it's okay. Then
that's why
everything is.
That's why I'm changing it from 40 seconds to 1 minute instead of So last time it was only 40 seconds for that. Because there's 2 more, you have a little more time to discuss.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'll start my timer also. 1 second. 40 seconds. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay. What is the best-selling video game of all time? Video game console of all time?
Fortnite.
No, video game console.
Okay, console.
Yeah.
PlayStation. Yeah.
What is it?
PlayStation 4.
Okay. Wrong. Next. What game franchise is Blizzard best known for?
League of Legends.
Wrong.
No, that is right against my bet. That is not.
Okay, I'll give you one more try on that. Okay.
Call of Duty.
Sorry?
Call of Duty?
No. Okay. What food was Pac-Man inspired by?
What food was that?
Yeah.
Pizza.
Correct. What is the best-selling video game of all time?
PC game or mobile game?
Okay, your time is up, but it's fine. Best-selling video game of all time, like in general, all time. Okay, I'll move on to the next one. What is the name of the final course in all Mario Kart games?
Get the princess.
Saving the
No. What? Who would name a course Get the Princess?
Save the princess.
No. Okay, I'll just go through all the answers from the start. So, what's the best-selling video game console of all time? It's PS2.
Oh.
It's still
Okay.
the best-selling game console of all time. Yeah. I think PS5 will beat it, but once a few years have passed. But yeah, what game franchise is Blizzard best known for? It's World of Warcraft.
Oh.
Yeah. So actually, Dota
The Activision
is a
has Call of
mod of.
Duty.
Yes. No. Activision has Call of Duty. Correct. But League of Legends is a different company. Damn.
Yes. It's from
Riot Games. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So
like,
Dota is actually a mod of World of Warcraft.
yes.
And yeah. So what food was Pac-Man inspired by? You got it correct. Pizza. And what is the best-selling video game of all time? Minecraft. I thought it was GTA 5, but yeah, when I looked
Even I thought it might be
Minecraft.
GTA 5.
Yeah, it's crazy. Minecraft has made that much money. And what is the name of the final course in all Mario Kart games? It's not Save the Princess. It's Rainbow Road.
Okay.
Have you heard of that?
No, what is Rainbow Road?
I mean, I don't know. It's just what they call all of their last tracks on, like basically all Mario Kart games. Yeah. So, anyways, that's fine. You at least did better than Udit. You got one right. So.
Udit got one right. He's a gamer. He says like he plays games.
No, Udit actually got. So he got one right, but he got one right after the timer was up. So it doesn't
Okay.
count. Yeah, you got one right before the timer went off. So.
Thanks to Tavraj.
Yeah, like was that a guess or did you actually know?
No, I know.
You know, okay, all right, cool. All right, so again, thanks for listening, everybody, and make sure to catch up our upcoming episodes as well. We're going to be having 8 more episodes after this, and also check out our games by Game Ready Labs, Ludo Star, GC Star, Traitor, and they're all really fun games in their own respects. And also a thanks to our guests, Rohit and Tabrez, for giving us their insights on how mobile gaming has changed during lockdown. So, anything else from you guys?
I just want to add one more other point.
Yeah.
See guys, so yeah, Game Ready Labs, we are sort of growing a lot, right? What Tavraj mentioned, we have grown 400% in terms of revenues, right? Our DAUs have grown quite a lot, and we are sort of hiring across all the major functions, right? So if you like this podcast and feel you can add value to our team, please feel free to reach out to any of us in the company. Yes, that's it.
And like there are many more games going to come up with Game Ready, especially with the merge data and other board games which are coming up.
Yeah. We have.
It's sort of please,
Yeah.
please post our games on the description. We want people to
Yes.
play our games.
Yeah. So the game links will be in the description, and also the link to the past podcast episode will be in the description this time. So yeah, that will definitely be in there. All right. So that was a pleasure. That was a fun talk. And until next time, everybody. Yeah.
Bye.